Next up, we have Nod-Krai main theme live performance from the Genshin Impact soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, members get early access to the content. Artists, I want to collaborate with anyone and everyone, so if you're an artist, you want some guitars, Mongolian throat singing, you know, the good old let me know. I have a whole spiel for this at the end of the video, so stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video if you want to read them in full. Otherwise, let's go ahead and do this. Nod-Krai main theme. Let's go. So we start with a solo vocalist, of course, giving us our first melody with what could be our initial motif. Motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. Now, something interesting here is that the way that Genshin Impact has done its music is usually the old approach to song. Songs nowadays, we have the very formulaic thing for songs. We have a very, very strict formula. Songs, you know, we have the intros, then we have verses, you have choruses, you have solos, maybe pre-choruses, you have breaks, that kind of stuff. However, when it comes to a more classical formula, it's not so much that you have music and you put lyrics to it, is that you have something written, usually a poem, and you put music to it, which means you're not going to follow that same formula that you would have in current contemporary songwriting, but you're just going to try to bring the music out of whatever poetry you're doing into life. And that's usually the approach we get with Genshin Impact, very classical in that sense. So let's see where it goes. There we have a harp playing, of course, the accompaniment. As you can see, the harp is not taking the spotlight. The harp is being the supporting act for this. Isn't there a long and on the high? I'll keep that in mind. So yes, now we're having this. We're repeating the melody. We're repeating the motif now with the harp. The harp, of course, doing both block chords and arpeggios. Arpeggios being when you play a chord one note at a time. Harps are insanely good instruments for that. Of course, an example of an arpeggio, if I put this over here, here's C major in a block chord, then arpeggiated. And, of course, we're having way more complex chords played right now. Let's see what it does. Let's see where it goes. Very lovely run from the harp. Ooh. Okay, so I love this. I actually love this format because I can actually show you what is going on. So over here, this is a very interesting setup for the orchestra. I can see we have a solo violin. We have a second one over here. I don't know what instrument this is. Might be a hurdy-gurdy. Maybe a hurdy-gurdy. We have some solo instruments here dressed in white, as you can see. But most importantly, you can hear the double basses. Here we have, of course, the double basses you can see is these instruments, that the ones that I have to play standing up. This is a very unusual setup for an orchestra. Because usually the orchestra, you're going to have, let me show you orchestra, right? So usually an orchestra is going to have, where's my... We used to have a picture of the New England Conservatory Orchestra. Did they take it down? Or something? Like, it was to be one of the first pictures we got. Anyway, let's just use this one then as an example. So over here, we have what is usually the standard layout for an orchestra. So, in a standard layout of an orchestra, you're going to have two sections of first violin. First violin is going to be here. Second, actually, let me copy this image and let me put it here on Paint, right? So we can see. So over here, we're going to have first violin. Let me bring a maybe yellow for this. So here we have first violins. Violin number one. Then over here in a little bit more cramped, we can see... Oh, this one's a little bit smaller. Okay, so first violins are gonna be... Oh, wow, this is a smaller orchestra. It's a little bit... Oh, God, this one has the old style. Okay, this one is not even the standard one, because this is the older style, because we have violin number 1 over here. Then on this side, we have violins number 2. Then over here, we have the violas. Then over here, we have the cellos. And then back here, you can see the double basses. This is the old format. Nowadays, what we have is that violin number 2 goes here where the violas are. The violas go to where the cellos are. The cellos go where the second violins are. The rest of the orchestra usually is pretty much the same. So even this one is not the standard that we use nowadays. Let me see, maybe over here, maybe over... Where is my... What did they do to my beautiful picture? Okay, maybe this one? Okay, this one is the more standard one. Let's go for this one then. Oh my God, they're Google ruining my my show over here. All right, let me just... Here we go. So over here, you can see, right? Here is a little bit more easy to spot. First violins over here. Second violins is these ones over here. Violas, of course, being these ones over here. Cellos being over here. Oh, we have some in the back over there, forgotten, like they usually are. Then we have the double basses over here. Then we have the woodwind section over here. Here we have flutes. We have oboes. Oh, wait, this one has 4 flutes. We have oboes plus this one variation. I don't remember which one it is. Clarinets back here. Bassoons back here. French horns over here. Trumpets over here. Trombones. And then the tuba very far behind. Here we have the timpani player. We have percussions. And over here we have harp. And then in this one in particular, we have 2 more dudes who are just kind of there. So, I was not expecting to get this. So as you can see over here, this is a very unusual layout for an orchestra, because we have what? First violins kind of scrambled here, second violins kind of scrambled over here. The cellos are back here, the violas are kind of backwards. Then we have, yeah, I think we have kind of like a variation, because then the double basses are split throughout the thing. It's almost like a St. Matthew Passion orchestra, because the St. Matthew Passion by Johann Sebastian Bach is very much a split kind of thing. So if we look at St. Matthew Passion, if we look at the St. Matthew Passion or orchestras, let's see if this one shows. Here you can see, right? Like this is an image for the St. Matthew Passion by Bach. It's an insanely complex, because it's 2 orchestras, 2 choirs, a children's choir, and a recitative ensemble. It's an insanely complex set that we have. It's one of the most beautiful pieces of compositions ever. The St. Matthew Passion. I highly, highly recommend it if you want to listen to what Entering Heaven sounds like. The Saint... Oh, come on. Let me... here we go. The St. Matthew Passion by J.S. Bach. If you want... it don't matter what anyone tells you. If you want to know... If you want to hear what it sounds like when you enter heaven... It's the St. Matthew Passion, the opening for the St. Matthew Passion. That is it. There is no competition for that one. So, yeah, I just got thrown off by the ensemble, and I think we do have a hurdy-gurdy. Let me hear a bit more. No! We have... Oh, that's one of the folk, a nickel harpa. Yes, a nickel harpa being probably a predecessor to the hurdy-gurdy. So, yes, you can see I really like that we're actually getting these shots. So it's apparently a nickel harpa. So, nickel harpa. As you can see, it's a bowed instrument, very, very old, and it kind of mixes the physiology of the hurdy-gurdy with the physiology of the viol instruments. Because the hurdy-gurdy, a hurdy-gurdy is going to have this crank over here, which is where the string actually does. So yeah, let's see where it goes. So we're having a flute now, bringing us a little bit of accompaniment. And we are having the double basses. Something I forgot to say, the double basses are engaging on what is called pizzicato. Pizzicato is when you pluck a string of an instrument that would otherwise be bowed, right? So if you're playing a violin and you have pizzicato, you're plucking the string instead. Right now, the double basses are doing just that. That's what is making the boom, boom sound. That is pizzicato. The opposite of pizzicato, of course, being arco. Arco is when you play with the bow. Let's see where this goes. Beautiful. Ah, bit of a glockenspiel over there. Nice. A very lovely crescendo, some silence, and there you go. There's a hurdy-gurdy. Yeah, there's a hurdy-gurdy. So now we are now switching over to a more folk sound vibe that we're getting over here. We're having these beautiful melodies being played, and now we bring in the women's choir. Let's see where it goes. Variations on the motif, very nice. Oh! And now we're having the flutes over here doing a little bit of canonic imitation. Canonic imitation, it's what it sounds right now. We're having the flutes playing the same thing that the vocals are doing, mostly the same things, just a little bit delayed. Man, this is beautiful. We're now introduced also some percussion to give us a little bit of a beat. Let's see where it goes. Ooh. Flute solo? Seems to be a wooden flute. Nice. I always forget the name of this instrument, but we're having these... We're bringing all the exotic instruments over here. Harps giving us those transitions. Letting the violins playing a variation. Here are some French horns giving us a little bit of chord, very subtle in the background. And now you can hear a very clear doubling. So we're having the flute and the violins playing the same melody. In music, this is called a doubling. Very beautiful. Let's see where it goes. Very folky too. I love it. Now everybody else shuts up. The flutes take over. This is an oboe playing now a variation of the melody. Now we have the flutes and the clarinets playing a variation. So right now, this whole section is a study on orchestration. Orchestration or instrumentation. We are just cycling the melodies around in the different instruments for the different textures that we can get, and we are just exploring very beautifully. Here we have the double basses. Let's see where it goes. Nice. Here are the trombones. Very nice. Now we bring back the female vocals with the violins and the hurdy-gurdy too, and all the folk instruments. And now we're getting a little bit of counterpoint. So counterpoint being the study of melodies, how they develop, how they interact with one another, usually under the context of having multiple playing at the same time. This is beautiful, dude. So yeah, we're just having counterpoint. We're having multiple melodies just dancing around one another, and I really like the Celtic and folk sound that this has. Very, very beautiful. Let's see where it goes. And we're having the this pin whistle over here, giving us a few runs. Solo of this one, I forget the name of this one. Oh, and we're having the vocals. So we're having the vocals giving us the chords. Very, oh man. So let's see, the cantele, thank you. Let's see, and now we, oh, the solo. The solos. What language are we even speaking here? and we're just bouncing back and forth. We're bouncing the different melodies. Counterpoint, pure counterpoint over here. And right now, you can see that she's doing very beautiful just speech. Sometimes you can have speech. Thankfully, this is not Sprechstimme, but there's something about human speech that it's unlike singing. You would say, duh, it's unlike singing, but the tones, the timbre, the way that the voice feels when you're speaking as opposed to when you're singing is so different. And I love that we can still use that for the purposes of music. It's beautiful. Let's see where it goes. Very climactic. You can feel the brass instruments. You can feel those brass instruments, the trombones, the tuba, giving us those chords down below. You can hear the strings basically just expanding this. Oh my god, this is insane. And Golden Skeleton, welcome today. This is the Nod-Krai main theme from Genshin Impact. This is a very unfortunate freeze frame. She looks very silly right now. Let's see where it goes. She's very good. Let's see. Here we have the orchestral cymbals, very beautiful. Trumpets, giving us that brassiness. A piano, and now all these instruments are engaging in runs, by the way. So a run in music is when you play notes really, really fast, usually up and down the scale. And oh boy, let's see where it goes. And it entirely... Oh, that pin whistle. So yes, I go back to the point of this. Even though this has lyrics, and the lyrics have been a driving factor of the music, this is not like what we would call songs nowadays. There is no verse. There's no chorus. Excuse me. There is no. There has been no like breakdowns or dropping off the beat. This is how songs used to be. This is how songs used to be made. And it's such a shocking difference. I don't know when we diverted from this. I really don't. But it's such a stark contrast to what we have today. And this is not me lamenting or celebrating either way. It's just me pointing how different the compositional styles are of a songwriter nowadays with, you know, the intro, verse, chorus formula, as opposed to the more classical formula of we have these words here, let's just bring that to music and make music precisely for these. Because one of the downsides of a lot of music that we have nowadays is that it's very susceptible to contrafactum. Contrafactum is when you take existing music and you change the lyrics for it, and it still makes sense. For example, one very old folk melody that existed that has gone through so many contrafactums. And Steve, welcome today. Yes, happy Halloween. This is recorded on Halloween. One of the pieces that has had several contrafactums done. The original one is called A vous dirai je maman. An old French folklore piece that has suffered a lot of contrafactum. And, you know, we use them for the ABCs, Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars. There's a couple of other ones that has gone through that. But that is something that happens to music that is not quite as purpose crafted for the lyrics that it has. So for example, if you try to change the lyrics for this composition, you're going to have a very hard time, because the entirety, each syllable, each word, each note being sung is handcrafted for the purposes of these lyrics and these lyrics alone. This happens, of course, also in opera, in operettas, in oratorios, all these different older, more classical formats, whereas more contemporary music, it's a lot more easy to swap lyrics around. And like take I'm pretty sure you could probably do this. Take Beyonce and shuffle her lyrics around and then just keep the same melodies, just move the lyrics from one song to another song. And I'm pretty sure most of the songs will be pretty unaffected. So in classical music, as we know, there was still normal music. It was just peasant music, folk, and such. Yeah, but I don't think folk music had this same format that like bands nowadays do. I think this is a fairly newer thing, like the intro verse chorus kind of format. Because even like folk and peasant music, like this is using folk and peasant music from before, and even then, these things, like the approach was just very, very different. A very different approach from back then. So, yeah. Let's see where it goes. So we have this climax going on. We bring in the brass, the trumpets, trombones, tubas, French horns, giving us that glorious melody to complement what she's singing. And that right there is what you use the trumpets for. The obnoxious, high, rhythmic trumpets, that's what they're built for. That's what they're built for. Oh, this is beautiful. Let's see. Oh, we bring it down to just the one more run of the lyrics. And oh my god, and we bring it back down with the pin whistle playing one last line of this melody, and it ends. This does nothing to my conspiracy. I have a conspiracy theory. MiHoYo, HoYoverse, whatever name the company is right now, is a front company, and the sole purpose of this company is to give unlimited funds for the composers to create some of the greatest music we have ever seen in our lives. The video game, that's the front. That's where they get that's just where they get the money from, just so that they can make incredible music. This was insane. Like, I don't think we've heard a single Genshin Impact track or piece or song that has not been absolutely brilliantly composed. Not a single one. Like, maybe there's some from like the very early days or something like that, but every single track that we've had from Genshin Impact has been absolutely brilliant. And yeah, that's my conspiracy theory. Yeah. HoYoverse, MiHoYo, whatever the name is a front company entirely made so that they can just funnel money over to the composition projects of whatever composers they have over here. This was absolutely brilliant. There you go. That was Nod-Krai main theme live performance from the Genshin Impact soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here, musically. So, if you're watching this in the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, if we somehow hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube before Christmas of 2025, which not very likely, but it's still possible. If we somehow hit that, I will take a single fan fiction of the choice of the community, and I will fully produce, record, and voice act an audiobook for it. We have a member who offered to do like a bunch of Discord Nitro giveaways. We're probably going to do like other type of giveaways, that kind of thing as well. If you have other ideas, or you also want to contribute to the hype, let me know. Reach out, we'll make as much of it work as possible. This has to be achieved through legitimate and honest means only. No account duping, no botting, no buying followers, no alt accounts, no rat behaviors like that. Go share the videos, the streams with your friends, with your families, with your families' friends, with your friends' families. Those are two distinct concepts, by the way. With your online and offline communities, go share these videos. Use the hype function on YouTube. I don't know how it works, but we have a group on the Discord that does. Link down below. Go coordinate with them. Yes, artists. I want to collaborate. If there's any artists out there on YouTube, if you want any sort of collaboration, hey, Mystic, I think we're the 20 francs. I'll address that in a second. If you, if you're an artist on YouTube and you want to collaborate, just let me know if you want any of my musical skills, whether it's my guitars, Mongolian throat singing, you know, the good old ooh kind of thing, or voice acting, regular singing, or if you want help figuring out something for your compositions, or any kind of collaboration, just reach out, let me know. We'll make it work as much as possible. If you're in the audience and you know anybody, let them know as well. Do not harass anyone, do not spam anyone, please. Do not be a rat about things. Members get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs. So become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I will be linking it in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the pinned comment on this video. It has the instructions on what to do. Any comments asking me to review something or anything like that are just going to get ignored. Follow the procedure that we have over there because I have horrible memory. It's mainly because I have bad memory. So it's there. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you are not in Europe, do not worry. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch, both linked down below. So if you live in Manchester, New Hampshire, and you're like, yeah, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule in your local time zone, both Discord and Twitch, linked down below. And follow the gaming channel. I have a gaming channel because, of course, I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Basterd. That's where I put the gaming after show recordings when they happen. We record them live on stream, and then the recordings go there. Link down below, or just search on YouTube, same username as James R. Basterd. Just swap the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you go. There you go. Nod-Krai main theme. That was really good, man. That was insane. Really, really good stuff. Genshin Impact, man. They always amaze me. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. But yeah, let's move on.